All right. We back on the Tevin Studdard show, and I got my big brother here, AG.
Yo.
Now this brother, all-state lineman at Cathedral, still hold track records from 1930. Like, boy, he paved the way for me and IPF guard Mo Evans to come from addicts to Cathedral to greatness. What's good, my brother?
What's going down? How you doing?
It's a blessing to have you on the show. Like, cause I remember, all right, the first time, he don't even have to remember this. I remember. First time I met this dude, we at addicts. I'm 7th grade, he 8th grade, and I'm on the 3rd floor. He was probably skipping class because it was just him and some other dude. And he seen me, he's like, boy, what's wrong with your nose? First words, not no hi, not no hello. He just roast me at first sight. I'm like, who is this dude? Like, I don't know nobody from nowhere. He just filmed me. But then, man, seen the man go to Cathedral and accomplish so much, man. So what was your football journey like at the Cathedral?
I went through it, man. You know, Cathedral, my grades failed after my junior year. Dad got killed, so my mind wasn't even on school. And, you know, my mentor basically gave me the opportunity to go south. You know what I mean? I went straight to Alabama. I had to get out of the city. I had revenge on my mind, all kind of stuff. So I went back to, you know, Alabama. I went to Alabama Miles College, a black college, and played 2 years there. Then I transferred. You know, I always had that D1 mindset. I'm like,
Yes,
hey,
sir.
if I don't got the grades, I know I could play. You know what I mean? So went to UAB, sat out a year, and then I balled for 2 years, messed up my knee, and then had an opportunity with the Colts. You know, ever since then, I've just been here, you know, doing social work and that type of thing.
Expand on what you've been doing with social work.
So I'm a home-based caseworker. Basically, my job is to, you know, get people on track, whether if they have addictions. You know, life can fall off of any of us. So my job is what I've been doing is just being a motivator and making sure that I give my all so that people can get back on track. Because, I mean, like I said, we could be on the other side of the table at any moment. It don't matter what happened to you. So just doing that, man. Just and speaking to kids, man.
That's real. And when he said, like, brother really come from it, like, we was really in it. So it's just like to really make that transition to be like, yo, I was in it, but I ain't gonna stay there. I'm gonna go further, go farther, and bring others alongside, just like same thing he did with me. So like even like get to elaborate on that more, man, of just like, cause we don't, for the people listening, like when he lost his pops, like, and still being able to mentally get through that, like that was on NBC, like Sunday night football during prime time when everybody's watching. He got to do a special where he was just talking about how he got to mentally get through that and to become a D1 athlete. So like elaborate on it, bro.
Man, so I mean, my dad spent the majority of my life in prison. You know, I was always going to schools where people had two parents, and you know, I was jealous. You know, I wanted to have somebody that I could brag about. Even though my dad was my superhero from where he was, it was hard for me to say, oh, my dad's in prison. You know what I mean? I was kind of embarrassed, but when my dad got out, it was like everything changed. We was at Cathedral. Everybody had mom and dad. And so I'm like, oh, I'm one of them now. You know what I mean? It's time to turn up. And then a year later, he gets killed. And this isn't like prison. This is like he's gone for good. So at first, you know, I wasn't mentally prepared for it. And I'm not glad that it happened. But then again, I take away what I would have been if it didn't happen. You know what I mean? I could have been anywhere. I could be dead. So when it happened, I went crazy. You know what I mean? I lost it. I was ready to kill somebody, literally. And you know, it really took for me to step back. I was out of school for probably a month and a half. And, you know, one day it just clicked. God put it on my heart to go back to school. And it was like, all right, am I about to let this, you know, affect everything else that I've already worked hard for? Or am I about to turn up on life, you know what I mean, on some positive stuff? Yeah. Rather than go kill somebody and spend the rest of my life behind bars or be out here and wait for somebody to kill me. You know what I mean? It was something, he put it on my heart quick. And you gotta grow up when you go through situations like that, man. You gotta take it, grieve, and then you gotta get back to what's important. And what was important was my life and the people that looked up to me.
That's real. Like, you gotta figure, because I'm sitting there too. I lost a cousin to gun violence. He got his brains blown out right outside of my grandmother's house. So my outlet was music. His was football. But both of those we trying to show young men that if you have outlets, being in those situations, coming from those roughest parts, you can still make something of yourself. And today, you doing the struggle made me, man. Elaborate on that and all you got going with it.
So struggle made me. I went from haters is motivation. I've always, every time I've come up, man, somebody has always had to tell me what I could not do. I remember I was at Addicts, and I was the best football player on the team, and one of the coaches was like, man, you can't go to Cathedral, you're not smart enough. The next week, I brought my acceptance papers and slapped them on their desk. What can you say to me now? Yeah. You know what I mean? I made it. Here go the paper. Here's the proof. Then I get to Cathedral. At the end of my Cathedral career, I was told by a counselor to go get a job first, then go to school, rather than go play football.
It's crazy.
So as soon as I got my scholarship, I slapped it on her desk. What can you say to me now? And you know, everything that's happened to me, it's always been something that's been constant, and that's pain and struggle. But every time, you know, if I can really look back on why I am how I am today, it's all because of my struggles. So what Struggle Made Me is a brand that I created, and it says it, you know. Everything that I've been through has shaped everything that I am. You know what I mean? And struggle has definitely made me. So it's a motivational speaking company where, you know, eventually I'll be going to schools, which I have already done, but just on a more national level, and speaking to kids, at-risk youth that need to hear this. You know what I mean? My thing is if I never would have tried, I wouldn't touch anybody. But since I'm going to try, if I touch one person, that's one more person that I've touched, if I didn't. So I'm ready to put some pressure on, you know, society and where we come from, and you know, showing these kids that it don't matter what you're going through, man, you can make it, man. There's people in rougher situations that have gotten out.
That's real.
So
you heard it. You heard it. Like, this is real. So we're going to come back. We're going to take a break real quick, and we're going to just elaborate on what else he's got going on. Peace. I'm playing, bro. This Tevin Studdard in the building. All right, and I still got my boy AG rocking with me.
Yo.
Mr. Means just stepped out. We got love for him. So, man, being that this happened at a young age, your whole situation, so what's your vision for the city's youth?
Man, my vision is better. You know, if I can say one word, it's just better. That's what we need. It's a lot going on in the streets, and it's not the older generations that is going on with. It's our youth. And I feel like it's on us, as us being, you know, older, but not so old that these kids will look at us as, you just an OG, you don't know what you're talking about. We at an age where we can make a difference quicker. You know what I mean? And what I tell the youth when I go talk to them is, don't look at me as somebody above y'all, because we the same. I'm just a little older. You know what I mean? Look at me as a big brother rather than a mentor. And I think it's on us, man. I think it falls on our shoulders. I think it's getting worse. But at the same time, if some real leadership steps up and people really don't care so much about themselves and give, we'd be all right, man. And just get these youth something to look forward to. You know what I mean? A lot of these youth are seeing the streets as quick money, not realizing if you put some of this, you know, some of this thought that you're doing and what you're doing, you can be anything you want to be.
Anything.
And you got a lot of people that didn't make it, so they downplay, you know, these dreams and these goals of some of these kids. But that's one thing we got to get out there and teach them, like, man, if you really want to do something, you can go do it. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. You know what I mean? Most of the time, if they telling you what you can't do, it's because they didn't do what they wanted to do. So we just got to stay on top of them, man, and really apply positive pressure.
Bro, all this pressure AG putting on, HB, he might need his own joint. It's like, I'm all about the brothers coming on and doing the thing. And you know my brother got the mouthpiece. So, like, hey, he might position him up to get his own Struggle Made Me Saturdays. Like, bro, that's game. You can take that one. I ain't even going to copyright it. But, so, man, what can we do? People like, I know you mentioned the real leaders, but what are like other like practical things that community people can be doing? Athletes, just what can we be doing? People our age.
Man, honestly, man, I just want people to be true to themselves, man, and don't worry about what everybody else thinks. If you really got something that you can give it. You know what I mean? Don't hold back because you think people gonna look at you different. It's hard in this world being positive. It's easier to be negative. So if you got something positive that you can give to a young brother that's sitting out on the street or something, give it to him. Like, I stop myself sometimes. I'm like, all right, I'm walking past a guy and I know I want to ask him a question. Go ask the question, see what he's doing. Especially if I'm in the gym and I see a young dude in there getting it. What sport you play? All right, well, keep going. You don't know what that keep going may mean to somebody.
That's real.
That keep going may rattle in his head when he is experiencing peer pressure. He's like, oh man, OG just told me to keep going. You know what I mean? So my thing is if you can give, man, and give in a positive sense. Don't tell nobody what they can't do. Because it's enough negativity in here. Y'all see who our president is. You know what I mean? So
that's real.
Let's just keep it positive, man. You know what I mean? Just keep it positive, period. That's what we can all do, man. Just be a little more positive.
All right. So well, first off, where do people get in touch with you at? How can they gotta follow AG, they loving all of this. How they get in touch with you?
So Instagram, at Struggle Made Me. Facebook.
That's with 2 G's for y'all that can't spell.
Facebook is Aaron Green. You'll see me. I'm a big, handsome black brother. But no, it's Aaron Green on Facebook. And you know, this movement is really about to take off. So, I mean, I appreciate the love. And I'm willing, if anybody would like to, you know, give and really want to be a part of something, man, let me know, man. I jump at any opportunity to help. Period. That's why I do social work. I didn't do it because of the money. I did it because I genuinely love to see people do better. So, Struggle Made Me. Aaron Green, just follow me. You can get at me.
That's real. And leave them with one last nugget, piece of wisdom, whatever that you gotta, that they know that Aaron Green came through when you leave them with this, bro.
Don't ever let anybody discourage your dreams. If you got something you want to do, go do it. You know what I mean? And if people are discouraging you, it's time to let them go. Leave them alone. You know what I mean? That's struggle made. So anything that you've been through or anything that you're going through, understand it does not last long. And, you know, it's going to make you. Don't let it break you. Period. Struggle made.
Hey, that's real, but I forgot. My lovely assistant over there, she got cups for us where they have random questions to leave out with. So grab a little question out of there. So go ahead and read the question and answer it, my brother.
Who are 3 of your biggest inspirations?
That's a good one for you.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
a good one. This was meant to happen. Hey, you good, Arian?
Hey, so number 1 is my great grandfather Donald Kelly. You know what I mean? He was 76, coming to every football game that I ever had in the freezing cold. You know what I mean? Number 2 will be my mother. She raised 3 kids. She has 2 who graduated college. She didn't even, she didn't get to go to college due to taking care of us, and my little sister's at IU, finishing up in 2 years. And number 3 is my dad. Even though he was in prison my whole life, he made sure that we knew he loved us, period. You know what I mean? You couldn't tell me nothing bad about my dad because of the way those phone calls, those jail visits, those letters, you know what I mean? And we always had Christmas presents from organization. So, they're my 3, man, and they really shaped me to be who I am today.
That's a great way to end it. All right. Aaron Green, ladies and gentlemen. Struggle Made Me. You got a .com? You got a website yet?
Not yet.
It's coming. StruggleMadeMe.com. It's coming, baby. We out.